everyone, Vienne here and welcome back. How many of us have had to do some recalculating of a cost of something before you made the purchase? Maybe in a grocery lineup, trying to recalculate all the items to see if it will match the money in your bank account. Or maybe you had to assess your emotional or mental bank account to realize that you were already spent. I would imagine that you've done that now more than you ever have before. Today, I want to talk to you about counting the cost. Yes, maybe some of us would acknowledge that, well, we have counted the cost in what it means to follow Christ and acknowledge that it is a daily calculation of that price. However, I believe that God is doing a new thing right now, and He's calling us all to rise up and count the cost yet again. In Luke 10:25 and 37, there's a parable of a Good Samaritan. Jesus is having a conversation with an expert in law as he's described. He asked Jesus this. He says, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" he says. Well, Jesus responded with this. What does the law say? The man said, "Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all of your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." Jesus said, "Yes, do this and you will live." But the man didn't stop there. He asked, "And who's my neighbor?" And from verse 30 down to 37, Jesus tells a story about a man who was attacked and beaten by a robber. He stripped him, beat him, and went away, leaving the man half dead. Do you know 3 people passed by that day? There was a priest, a Levite, which was the name given to a special religious group, and a Samaritan. And if you don't know, they were the people you didn't dare associate with. Who do you think helped this man that was beaten and left for dead? Do you know? Both the priest and the Levite came to the place and saw him and passed on the other side of the road. But a Samaritan, when he saw him, stayed the course, took pity on him, bandaged up his wounds, and took care of him. He didn't ignore the man in need, but went out of his way to help. Then Jesus asked, which of these 3 do you think was a good neighbor to this man who was beaten? The one who had mercy on him, Jesus said, "Now go and you do the same." Are you willing to do as that Samaritan did? To help someone in need? I believe there's a journey that we have not yet taken. When we are crossing the other side of the street to avoid, there's a cry from our heart not yet declared. Maybe you've counted the cost of what it means to stay and help, and you're not willing to pay the price. I know I've been guilty of that at times. What if a spiritual leader is trapped in an addiction or a secret life? What if a drug addict loves Jesus but can't break the addiction? What about the mental health crisis we're in right now? Are we crossing the road thinking that someone else can deal with that? Are we willing to go out of our way to have someone feel the love of Jesus? Are we willing to count the cost to love our neighbor, to go out of our way? Maybe go against popular opinion, or maybe against some religious mindsets that are building walls instead of bridges. I strongly believe that we hold the keys to people's freedoms, but because we aren't willing to count the cost and surrender these things in our own lives to be free, we can't help others be free. What is the cost? I believe Isaiah 55:1-2 states it perfectly. It says, "Is anyone thirsty? Come and drink. Even if you have no money, come and take your choice of wine or milk. It's all free. Why spend your money on food that does not give you strength? Why pay for food that does you no good? Listen to me, and you will eat what is good. You will enjoy the finest food." Today, I implore you to count the cost Let's find the courage in our own lives to do what it takes to help our neighbors feel the love of Jesus, so that people can come and eat and drink without paying the additional price tag that we put on God's free gift. Let's count the cost today, because someone's life depends